5 News starts now with breaking news.
We have a lot of breaking news tonight to get to, but first, an officer was involved in a shooting in Ormond Beach after a woman with a knife charged at them. Good evening and thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Deborah Choe. Fox 35's Connor Hansen is at the scene gathering what else we know about this.
Ormond Beach police say officers had to shoot a woman after she allegedly charged at them holding a knife. I'll step aside so you can see this car getting towed away. They say that was that woman's car. They say this all started when one of their community service officers was here at the park right by the beach when a woman came up, was yelling, hitting the police car with her bag. They say she eventually got into that car you're looking at now and started ramming the police car repeatedly. When other Ormond Beach police officers showed up to the scene for backup, the police department tells us that woman charged at them, holding a knife over her head. That's when officers, they say, shot twice and the woman went down. It's unclear how she's doing right now, but she was taken to the hospital after officers went to give her some aid. The police department says no officers were hurt here and the FDLE is investigating. Now, we did get the chance to talk to a couple of witnesses here who described hearing those shots and heard that woman screaming. We'll have much more of that coming up on Fox 35 News at 10. In Ormond Beach, Connor Hansen, Fox 35 News.
All right, Connor, thank you. Well, also breaking tonight, look at this. A boat explodes in Kissimmee and 3 people were airlifted to the hospital. Fox 35's Patrick Perez explains what we know tonight.
This happened at the Big Toho Marina here in Kissimmee around 5:15 this afternoon, but hours later, here's what the scene looks like. You can see that boat is still here at the scene, now surrounded by some crime scene tape that Kissimmee police firefighters put up about 30 minutes ago. You can see some of the damage toward the back where that fire was. I want to take you now to some video that we got from a bystander here at the scene. You can see those huge flames coming out of that boat. We know that 3 people were airlifted to the hospital. 2 of those were in critical condition, and a 4th person was treated here on the scene. Those 3 people, by the way, who were flown by helicopter were taken to a burn center in Orlando. A spokesperson with the Kissimmee Fire Department tells me that this group of people, they were working on this boat because it was having some trouble in the water. So they brought it to the parking lot of the marina, started working on it, and that's when that fire happened. A witness told me that he ended up hearing some sort of explosion as those flames were going on. So again, a total of 4 people injured, 3 of them flown to the hospital, 2 of those in serious condition. We'll keep you posted. We're in Kissimmee. I'm Patrick Perez, Fox 35 News.
Patrick, thank you. Well, we also have some new details about a shooting in Orange County that happened last night. We now know the name of the person who was killed at that gas station. So we brought this story to you last night as breaking news at 10. Well, deputies say that they found 31-year-old Terrence Mars shot at the Chevron gas station near Mount Dora. He died at the hospital, but we still don't know what led up to that shooting. Right now, we also don't have any information about the suspect. And some new details tonight. Police say they have arrested a teenager seen in this video right here, dumping a 2-year-old boy on the side of the road. They say the teen stole the SUV with the toddler inside from a home in Holly Hill back in June. Now, police originally arrested a 16-year-old in that case, but that teen was never charged with a crime. Detectives say evidence found inside the SUV led them to that 17-year-old. He is charged now with kidnapping, child abuse, and grand theft. Well, new details in a Fox 35 investigation tonight. We have been looking into some complaints about how a new internet provider has been installing these fiber lines. So we first told you about WOW last week, and people have been complaining about broken utilities, yards that have been ripped up, and tools that have just been left in the grass. Fox 35's Marley Capper is speaking exclusively with that company tonight.
The company is talking to us for the first time since everything's been happening. Now, this comes after a viewer reached out to us with camera footage of some of these subcontractors lounging on their lawn and reaching into their tree and eating their fruit.
Just completely unprofessional.
Paige Southward says she had no idea anybody would be installing fiber optic lines in front of her house. She found out from her Ring doorbell camera.
The last thing that people want to see is people digging up their yards and they don't know what's going on.
She says digging up her yard wasn't the only problem she came home to. She claims the workers were trespassing on her property.
When I saw them, just sprawled out, laying down with their sandwiches and then just like freely picking the fruit off my tree. I just thought, like, who, what, and why is all of this happening?
Her camera caught the workers eating on her lawn at 12:24. And while eating lunch in the shade might not seem like a big deal, the camera's timestamp has them there until 1:30, over an hour later. And at 3:16, you can see that they came back and put something in her bushes. Paige says that something was debris and trash.
Regardless of what it is that they're trying to accomplish, it's just unprofessional.
Paige says she called the city, the county, and her HOA, who finally told her it was WOW installing fiber optic lines. WOW's permits allow them to be on public easements like sidewalks, not private property. So I sent this video to WOW, and the VP of Corporate Communications tells me the people in the video are violating WOW's policy.
We have gone back to all of our contractors and have reminded them of this policy and have asked them to recommunicate it to their employees.
Deborah Havens says while she hasn't confirmed if the people in the video are subcontractors of WOW, she says they have stepped up canvassing of the neighborhoods they're working in.
Direct employees of WOW are going through and walking and driving the neighborhoods and making sure that we're catching any of these incidents before they actually become concerns of homeowners.
Havens says WOW wants to earn the business of people here in Central Florida, and they're going to continue to work on the issues to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Now, she does say if you do have a complaint, reach out to WOW directly so they can take action. Reporting in Lake Mary, Marley Capper, Fox 35 News.
Marley, thank you. Well, this man is now facing charges for a hit and run that happened last night in Orlando. Troopers say Anthony Martin hit a person on a moped near the intersection of Orange Blossom Trail and Americana Boulevard. Well, that moped rider is now in critical condition. Martin is facing several charges, including failing to stay at the scene of a crash. Well, right now, families have no place to call home. They were actually evicted from their homes in Orlando. The county says the owner of the mobile home parks owes millions of dollars in fines for trash piled up and for violating the fire and zoning code. Well, Fox 35's Maria Ettinger spoke to a woman who was kicked out by deputies today.
I thought I was like in a nightmare.
Lynette Colon says her 4 children woke up this morning to deputies pounding on their door.
I was explaining to the officers that I didn't have nowhere to go. They was like, you got 5 minutes to take all your stuff out.
She and everyone else in Lake Downey Mobile Home Park are getting evicted.
It's not okay what they're doing to us. They're treating us like we're not humans.
Colon has lived there for about a year, paying $1,600 in rent for a 3-bedroom trailer. She says the neighborhood had the water shut off a few months ago.
You walk in there, it looks like a bomb has gone off in there. It looks like a third world country.
Faith United Methodist Church across the street has been doing what they can to help out around the neighborhood.
Because they can't afford anything else. We see some desperate, people just trying to figure out what are they going to do.
When I reached out to the property owners today, a woman on the phone almost immediately started yelling at me. She says they decided to sell because of conditions at the mobile home park. The property owner, Manohar Jain, has racked up millions of dollars in fines from the county for not having any fire hydrants on the property, plus violations for trash and zoning issues. And court records show a long history of fines and lawsuits from other entities, too.
My experience with issues like this.
Back in May, Mayor Demings asked the group buying the property, Peak Land Trust, to come up with a plan for what to do with people living there now. Without one, he warned,
they all will become homeless, and that creates a bigger burden on the rest of the society if there's not a plan of action on it.
But the county says they never got that plan. And now we're seeing the mayor's warning come to life.
I really don't want to sleep in the car, and I don't want to leave my kids with somebody else.
Colon did apply for an apartment. She spent the afternoon glued to her phone, hoping for a call saying she'd been approved.
Which that's all I pray for and want. And I'm hoping I could do that tonight.
In Orlando, Marie Ettinger, Fox 35 News.
Well, you decide 2023. It's election day and the polls are closed and results are starting to roll in. So you can see here on our graphic, Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer just won his 6th full term. So you can see right there, he got 72% of the vote. Now, we also caught up with him this morning before that big win.
It's a little nostalgic today because this is my last election day, so we've been waving signs at a number of different polling precincts and a lot of energy out there today, so just reflecting on a lot of different things.
Another contest we are watching this evening is the race for mayor in Oviedo. You can see Megan Sladak is the incumbent, and she is facing challenger Brady Duke and Judith Smith. Sladak has served 2 terms, and as of right now, she has 54% of the vote. However, only 5% of that vote is in as of right now. Well, still ahead on the Fox 35 News Edge at 8, the $2 bill is gaining value. That odd currency, though, may be worth thousands. Find out the reason behind the boost. Plus, a local high school has an outstanding veterinary program, but right now there's one big thing missing. Coming up, find out what the students need the most.
And weather-wise, it is beautiful outside this evening, 72 degrees. How long this stretch of ideal weather will last and what's waiting in the wings as we head toward the weekend.
Welcome back. In the Fox 35 Mission Control tonight, scientists are showing off the first pictures taken by the new European Space Telescope. So 4 months after the telescope launch from Cape Canaveral, it's revealing a collection of galaxies. These images were captured once before by the Hubble Space Telescope, but agency officials say the new ones are razor-sharp astronomical images. You can see some of them right here. Well, one image shows a group of 1,000 galaxies in a cluster over 240 million light years away.
What a special moment. A mission that will reveal the invisible 95% of the universe, which is truly incredible, and a milestone for ESA's world-class space science program.
Wow, that is literally mind-blowing. Okay, well, the observatory will survey billions of galaxies over the next 6 years. Billions, they said. NASA is a partner on the $1.5 billion mission. All right, we're in the Fox 45 classroom tonight. Students at Harmony High School in St. Cloud are getting hands-on lessons as part of the school's veterinary program. This is actually a real deal because we are talking a radiology room, a cat ward, and more. As Fox 45's Randy Hildreth reports, the vets in training are actually learning how to now operate on animals.
Explain to me what this room is.
All right, so this here is our surgery room.
The vet wing at Harmony High School rivals many full-scale animal clinics.
When our clinic is in operation, a veterinarian is actually working on staff, technicians are working on staffs. We're performing live surgeries here where the students are prepping animals for surgery, they're assisting in the surgical process.
Yes, you heard correctly, students scrub in for surgery.
Mostly it's spay and neuter, but I've seen open heart surgery.
But for the first 9 weeks of this school year, the equipment has collected dust.
I watched all the seniors last year graduate with their CVAs in hand. Having a veterinarian here is such a huge drawback to what my plans were.
The school is without a vet this year, so no surgeries with current seniors. It also means students are now struggling to get the 250 clinical hours needed to graduate from the vet program with their certified veterinary assistant certification. It's a big deal because that certification could mean a job right after high school or a boost on a college application. There aren't many clinics near Harmony High School to get the hours elsewhere.
An hour to get to an animal clinic, to only spend 2 to 4 hours and then drive back. Gas, fuel, and that's just a lot of money and not really convenient to me or my family.
No applications have come in yet, but students and staff are hopeful a vet will step up so the seniors can graduate with the certification they've been working on since their freshman year.
It was sad that I don't have, because these kids are starving for this knowledge and they want their hands on.
Randy Hildreth, Fox 35 News.
All right, well, new details tonight. New Orleans is hit again with super fog. Look at this. Drivers had a really difficult time seeing these cars in front of them. The conditions are being blamed for several wrecks and unfortunately even one death. This is the second time in 2 weeks that super fog has actually caused issues in that area. And of course, we're no stranger to that too, Brooks, right? I mean, we even had some fog this morning, right?
We did, and we're going to have more fog tonight. Thankfully, not a super fog. That's unexpected. But Florida has a storied and tragic history of super fog events resulting in multiple deaths and in many cases, scores of injuries. Yeah. It forms like this, super fog, right? What a name. Well, it's a mixture of smoke and water vapor. And that's important because the smoke also releases steam. You see the logs, everything burning releases water vapor. That just adds to the humidity locally, and that becomes fog in itself. Tiny particles of smoke act like a place for the water molecules to stick. And when you have a lot of them come together, I mean, you can have visibility reduced to under 10 feet. So it's very dangerous. You're driving along, everything's hunky-dory, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's like somebody threw a bucket of white paint over your windshield, and you're just lost. And unfortunately, if you're on a busy road, that can result in very quick tragedy. So if you're driving at daybreak, morning commuters, while this is not anticipated tomorrow morning, if there are areas where controlled burns have occurred or are being actively burned, or if there are wildfire areas and that smoke is mixing with the fog, sometimes you can kind of smell it as you're driving, and if it becomes foggy, be prepared for rapidly changing and deteriorating visibility conditions. That said, tomorrow morning, not expecting that, just some areas of patchy fog. Could be locally dense here and there, especially around the St. Johns River area around DeLand and where Volusia County and Lake County border. Right now things are clear, 72 degrees downtown Orlando, so no concerns there. Beautiful shot over downtown. We're going to see temperatures dropping from 70 at 9 to 67 degrees at 11 o'clock. Tonight at 11:31, this is launching, it's slated to anyhow, a Falcon 9 carrying some Starlink satellites. A live view from our Launch Credit Union Port Canaveral camera. The good folks at Patrick Space Force Base, the 45th Wing, they're the weather forecasters there, the official task for them. One of the tasks is to forecast for these launches. They're giving it a 95% chance for a go weather-wise. So if you've been jonesing to see something launch, you're in luck tonight, it looks like, as long as there are no technical glitches with the rocket. This is one of 3 launches this week from SpaceX, so it's going to be very busy down there. Next 12 hours, we're going to see temperatures falling from the mid-60s at 2 a.m. down to a low of 62 between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. That's around daybreak. Then we're going to warm up rapidly into the 80s by the time we hit 1 o'clock. So another beautiful day on the way for tomorrow. But at the school bus with a fog possibility and temperatures around 62 degrees, I would definitely recommend a sweatshirt as you wait for the bus. 84 by 3, patchy morning fog giving way to mostly sunny skies. Our weather spotters had a beautiful day today. Joel Mathis in Claremont had 86. Mike Beecher in St. Cloud had 82 degrees today. Meanwhile, in the north, we had 82 for Mark Miller in Ocala. Don in the Villages, 86. Dave had 88 degrees. And Jeannie Bullock in Deltona had 85 degrees. If you want to join us, become a Fox 35 weather spotter, we'd love to have you. Email fox35stormteam@fox.com with your name, where you live, a photo to use. We'll get you all signed up, and you can see your picture on air and, of course, your weather report. I love this program. It's a great way to interact with you and get to know you as well. Well, our forecast featuring high temperatures in the mid-80s through Sunday. Veterans Day is on Saturday, and there's a 20% chance for a little rain that day. Sunday as well. Monday, a 30% chance, and that's going to be the start of some changes because we've got a weak cold front coming in for a few days. We go from mid-80s Sunday to mid-70s for Monday and Tuesday, and what will be the start, a slow but steady shift in our pattern, featuring a greater chance for rain and thunderstorms to round out the month of November. Deborah?
All right, thanks so much, Brooks. Well, so to come, an NFL Hall of Famer is sharing his motivation when it came to his battle with cancer. Learn the motto that he lived by just ahead. And before we head to break, the Fox 35 Care Force needs your help to salute our veterans this week. Send us a short email and a picture of a veteran you want everyone to know about. So make sure you include their hometown and what branch they served in, because we're going to collect all their stories this week, and we want to share as many as we can in our newscast. So all you got to do is email us at fox35news@fox.com. We, of course, look forward to hearing from you, and thank you for your service. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Developing tonight, new video that we've got showed the man who Kissimmee police say set the Salvation Army building on fire. Well, that man even admitted that he did it. Fox 35's Caroline Coles has the video of his arrest when police showed up to the scene.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate what happened here. You can see behind me, the building is a complete loss, but officials say this is not going to stop them from giving back to the community.
I mean, they're standing, but the interior is totally destroyed.
It's been less than 24 hours since a fire ripped through the Salvation Army building in Kissimmee and destroyed everything.
There you go. God bless.
But the desire to help those in need is not gone.
People that come to our doors, many of them are broken and deal with addiction or mental illness, and that's why we're here to serve.
Fire or not, people were lined up outside the burned out building today to grab a meal.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Captain Ken Chapman helps run the Salvation Army right here in Kissimmee. He says he knows the man accused of setting the building on fire. Chapman tells us Cordeo Lee Marble used the shelter and hinted that he would do something to the building before.
On the way out, he said to one of the staff members, I'm going to come back and burn this place down. It's part of the brokenness, and we don't normally put a lot of stock into that. And I don't think anything was any different yesterday that would cause anybody to do it.
Much of the damage includes the kitchen, food, clothing items, a new washer and dryer, and the holiday red kettles, an item they used to collect donations.
Hi. God bless.
The people who come to the Salvation Army for help call the fire disappointing.
Well, yesterday we had spaghetti. It was nice and hot with a nice salad with dressing and everything. And today we're eating out of a bag.
To get nowhere to drink, no food, no showers, no nothing. It's over, you know what I'm saying, until they repair this.
And speaking of repairing,
and we do have a long-range plan for about a $10 million facility here in Osceola. This may just accelerate it and get it going faster.
Now, because they lost everything in the fire, right now officials who work here say they really need cash donations. Reporting here in Osceola County, I'm Caroline Coles, Fox 35 News.
Well, coming up on Central Florida's only live local newscast at 8:30, bad behavior in Volusia County schools. So the district wanted to add more deputies to keep kids safe. Well, today they got their answer on what happens next. We'll tell you coming up in just a few minutes. And later, should your furry friend be joining you in bed? So we are asking a doctor about the pros and cons of co-sleeping with a pet, and the answer might surprise you. Stick with us.